Sir, this is your student George. First of all, I'll start with saying hope you are in good health and safe. And sorry for the hat. I know it's inappropriate, but I tried to cut my hair and it didn't work out well, so I had to put it on. Anyways, um, um, I'll start first by presenting my our project. It's about Eatsweet. It's chopsticks. So chopsticks are pairs of equal sticks used as eating utensils in Asia. They are originated from China and spread later to to East Asian countries. They are significant for religion and the culture sphere encompassing China, the Japanese archipelago, the Korean peninsula, and third Southeast Asia. Chopsticks is a widely popular tool used by the Asian culture to eat their meals. This basic bamboo-like tool is currently being used all around the world, mainly to eat Asian-type foods. Eatsweet was founded in 2019 in the United States, and our goal is to provide new, trendy cultural options to people who are tired of the basic chopsticks. We have come up with a product that revolutionizes the way people can eat. Our product, called the Eatsweet, as stated earlier, is a metal or wooden chopstick with classic chopsticks on one side and on the other side a fork or spoon. Our goal is to break into the Asian markets with the Eat Suite, beginning with China and Shanghai and Beijing, the two biggest cities. Our product now, I'll give a little brief description of it. Eat Suite demonstrates relative advantage over existing products. The product will be perceived as a unique by our target market. It will be seen as a major attraction of the customers, especially those who prefer and tend to add new variety to their kitchenware. Additionally, it will also fascinate the ones who are regular users of such cutlery. The innovative idea will help to impress and convince those who are in need and interested in innovation as well. Each suite will give an intense rivalry to our competition in the field of kitchen product and culture. It will prove itself to be useful when the customers aren't certain about what their visitor or guests were more likely inclined toward. In this manner, keeping up notoriety by giving a comfortable choice to pick what they may feel generally good and comfortable with. Our product as well will also prove beneficial in terms of covering up the wide market base, as the product will suit the different cultural people who can maintain all three items and make use of what is most common for their culture. The product will help customers, particularly home workers, in getting social attention and raise their status in their social groups. The product can be represented in honor to guests for making dining like more presentable and sophisticated. I've added some images of the product in Google Docs. You can check them out. Thank you.
So in terms of advertising, we'll be using Sogu, which is a really good search engine. Is one of the It comes second after Baidu. Baidu is another search engine, but we'll be using Sogu, which is for better and easier for us to use in terms of selling our product and advertising it. So Sogu has multiple. It has multiple partnerships. For example, it has WeChat, which is the equivalent of WhatsApp, and it's basically the same things. People use it to communicate and talk to each other, and they have ads appearing on the app. So every time they will be using it, they will hopefully see our ads and they will hope to buy or come in contact with us. It has 750 million users, so it's pretty effective. Then we have Weibo, which is also the Chinese version of Twitter. Um, it has a lot of users also, and everybody will be on it, and everybody will see the ads, advertising. So it will be easier for us to advertise it to this many number of people. Then in terms of promotion, we will use demonstration, buy one get one free, and we'll use also a gift. So demonstration, we will give out free samples. Um, so for example, we'll have a table outside any social event, and we'll give out free samples, and somebody will come to the table and will try one of the samples, and also we will show them how to use the chopsticks, so people can learn offer it face to face on how to use it, and in turn they will probably ask questions and want to know more about the product. Also, we have a buy one get one free, which is exactly how it sounds. You purchase one of the products, and we end up giving it to the buyer. We end up giving another one of the product for free. Then we have a gift, which is where the buyer will purchase a specific item that we want them to purchase, and at the end we will either send a gift to them, or a gift of the product, or we'll maybe reduce the price. So like I mentioned in the first few minutes, we'll be using WeChat, and we'll be using Weibo also as a form of communication with our customers and anybody else who would wish to do business with us. We'll be using social media mainly, and also as mentioned, Tencent, QQ, and Vito. It will allow us to communicate directly with anybody who wishes to communicate with us. So that will be our main source of communication.
Hello, Professor. Hope you are doing well. I am Nishita, and I am going to explain about the market and geographical location. So basically, we are going to sell our product in China and mainly focusing on the larger cities like Shanghai and Belgium. Overall, China is the third largest country in the world, so the market advantage over there is very high. The climate throughout China ranges from tropical to subtropical in the northern regions. Shanghai has a population of 24.28 million people, and Belgium has a population of 21.54 billion people. The current population growth throughout the country is 41%, and in recent years, the population has been relocating from the rural areas to business-centered cities like Belgium and Shanghai. So there are high chances that our chopsticks will gain a higher profit over there, and the climate is perfect for selling our chopsticks, and there is a very good population to target over there. So now I'm going to start with the government of China. China is one of the most China is one of the most powerful countries in the world. It is a permanent member of the Security Council of UN. It is also the fourth largest country within the world via land area. The Communist Party of China is the founding and ruling political celebration of People's Republic of China. Although China enjoys a stable political environment, the lack of political freedom is an area of concern over there. Even nowadays, there are a little bit issues arising over the political government and all stuff, but hopefully it would be stable soon. Although China enjoys a stable political environment, there are some issues currently going on. Many analysts question the shortage of openness of China's political system. So there is a risk a little bit over there, but as we all know, it is a largest market for even the international products to be sold. They're always going to find a way to do all the stuff, and it would be stable soon. However, it's far well worth nothing than with a stable political environment. Cheap labor is one of the most advantage to sell our product over in China. There is a very forward infrastructures, and China has an extraordinary destination and designation in a FDI. So it is one of the great thing that so this is also one of the reason that we have choose China as a country. China attracted a file high US dollar of 139 billion worth of FDI in 2016, making it the third largest FDI vacation spot in the world. So as we said that China is a permanent member of UN Protection Council. It not only with that, it is also a member of WTO, BRICS, Asian Plus, and G20. It maintains appropriate democratic family members with many high quality powers inside the world change and politics, so it is safe to invest in China. Now I'm going to talk about the economy. The country of China has the second biggest economy in the world behind the US. However, by the far the world's largest economic system on purchasing strength basis. A lot of economic reforms have been started within 1970s, which helped China making a rapid monetary boom. It holds an economic freedom score of 59.5%. It has a 4.4 percentage unemployment rate. Therefore, most of the population holds a job with a steady income. So there are less chances of going flop for the product and higher chances of its success. However, it's worth noting that economic improvement has additionally caused some challenges for China: high inequality, speedy urbanization, and environmental damages. But as we know that our product is chopstick, so it is not going to damage environment and it is under a regulation, so it is safe for us to launch in China. In 2019, article from CNBC wrote that report by Mickey Casey found that consumption contribution to more than 60% of China's growth during 11 out of 16 quarters. That means that China's economy has been reducing its reliance on a trade as a source of growth. Manufacturing in the country are selling more to the domestic consumers and less to the world. This is important to Eatsweet because with China selling their manufacturing products more to themselves, it would be more difficult to gain a larger part of market for the product. The Chinese government might give more pushback on a foreign company arriving with products when they can manufacture the good themselves and profit of those products. Now I'm going to talk about the regulations in China. Legal surrounding in the closing element, the discussed in the pestle evolution of China. There are a number of legal guidelines that regulate business and employment practices in China. For example, labor standards, employee remunerations and benefit, labor disputes, and other relevant problems are regulated by the PRC Labor Law 1995, the PRC Labor Contract Law 2007, and diverse administrative regulation. The catalog of industries for guiding foreign investment regulates regulates FDI within the USA. The catalog divides FDI into four major parts. They are encouraged, restricted, prohibited, and permitted. Encouraged category include 384 different type of industries like agriculture, equipment, manufacturing, and fruits and vegetables. Drink manufacturing are some of them. Restricted category consists of 35 different type of industries like construction and banks, REITs, and securities. Prohibited category includes 28 industries. Airside visit control, postal agencies, and home explicits are some of the example of that. And the industries which are not in above three categories include in the permanent category.
Hi, I'm Cameron. So, one main thing that is important when doing business in China is to understand their business ethics and their business culture. They are a high context culture, so it's very important to have a deep understanding of their culture, especially in terms of business when you're wanting to do business there. So, some things that we found when researching was that one of the main things is that you can't really just get a meeting in China. You have to know someone. So they're not going to just have a meeting with anyone. It's important for them to have personal relationships. So after you have this initial meeting, then you will be able to form these relationships. It's also important to bring any paperwork with both the your language. So if it was English, French, it's important to bring one with your language and then one with the Chinese language and make sure it's translated correctly. In terms of transportation, both Shanghai and Beijing have very good public transportation systems. Shanghai actually has the largest port in the world, the Shanghai port, and that is because both the river and the sea meet it. And so that would be a good way to get product in and then be able to disperse it to other parts of the country once we were able to expand. Another thing that we would be able to do is just bring in the cargo via airplane to both Shanghai and Beijing. They both have international airports. In terms of consumer habits with the Chinese population, as mentioned before, they have one of the largest populations in the world with 1.4 billion people. So this is obviously a big market for people to want to get their business into. So the consumer habits kind of depend on their age. So the older generation tend to be more traditional and frugal because they have experienced economic and political tough times in the past. And then you kind of go to the middle-aged generation where they are both traditional and then they kind of are more trendy like the younger generation. So these people kind of tend to save a little bit less, but they still will save and they won't spend as much on entertainment or other activities. And then the younger generation obviously is going to want to be more trendy, so they're going to, really base everything they buy off the internet, and they're going to if their friends buying something that's really popular, then they're going to want to buy it. So we would focus mainly on the younger generation because they're more impulsive with their purchases and they don't save as much. And then really just make sure that we get it through social media. So in terms of distribution, since it's a cutlery-based product, we really want this to be an everyday utensil in people's lives. So we would put this in supermarkets, starting for the in-store shopping experience. So a report from IBIS World states that the supermarket industry in China is expected to grow at an annualized 4% over the next 5 years, to a total of $204.2 billion. So obviously this is a thriving industry, so it's important that we get our product Eatsweet into that industry. So the top 4 grocery chains are Walmart, Vanguard Group, RT Market, and Sun Art Group. And then after that, we would obviously put them online because online is a big presence in China, as it pretty much is everywhere else. We do Alibaba and Amazon would be our 2 main, and then those are just easy to go on, find what you want, and buy that. Online sales today account for about 20% of all retail to consumer goods in China, so it's obviously very important and very lucrative for us to be online. So overall, we just really want to make sure that we are targeting the right group, which would be mainly middle-aged and mainly the younger generation. Get our product in the supermarkets, get it online, and really use social media to our advantage. And then to get our product in, we would just use those transportation methods with the Port of Shanghai or the international airports. We hope to expand to other parts of China and Asia, so hopefully once we start with Shanghai and Beijing, this will be the beginning of it. Thank you so much.